Four Directions, written by our own Wendy Barrett, who's in California or Colorado or somewhere. Please stand and face east. East is air, the breath of life, rebirth, and springtime. East is where the sun rises every morning. It represents inspiration, new ideas, psychic abilities, and intuition. Its colors are white, yellow, crimson, blue-white, and pastels. Some of its animals are the eagles and the hawk. It is new love and joyous new beginnings. Please take a deep breath. South. South is fire. It is the energy and fire of the sun. It is the spirit of life and can heal and purify. South is summer. It represents growth, fertility, gentleness, warmth, and good friendship. Its color is red. Its animals are desert animals like reptiles and salamanders, and also fire animals like dragons and horses. Please take a deep breath and turn to your right. West is water. It represents emotions of love, courage, and daring, as well as the unconscious, the womb, and fertility. As it flows, it represents the changes in life constantly bring. It is the cleansing of rain, the excitement of a river, and the passion of the sea. It is where the sun goes down each evening. We thank the West for the changes, transformations, and new ideas that come into our lives. Blue and aqua are its colors. Its animals are dolphins, whales, fish, sea serpents, seabirds, and all other sea creatures. Please take a deep breath and turn to your right. North is earth. It is the stable home to return to. It is winter and gives us the strength and power to bear what is cold and harsh in life. It is going within to find your own strength and connections with spirit. It is the body, growth, money, creativity, birth, and death. Its color is white. Mountains, valleys, precious stones, salt, and crystals. It is nourishment and sustenance. Its animals are the stag, the bison, and the forest animals. Please take a deep breath. Turn to face the center aisle or your screen. Close your eyes, put your hands over your heart. Feel the presence of these elements, honoring each as an element of spirit. Now open your eyes. Take a moment. As you see with the eyes of God, notice God looking back at you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Jean Watson, practitioner emeritus, and today's reading comes from the book Build the Life You Want by Arthur C. Brooks and Oprah Winfrey. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. In 1772, a 47-year-old British man by the name of John Newton made his living transporting enslaved people. One night during a terrible storm that swept many of his mates overboard and nearly took his life, he survived and concluded that God had a plan for his life, and it was his job to discover it. His habits and beliefs changed and turned his focus to divine love. He ultimately became a clergyman and an ardent abolitionist against slavery. Today, he is considered one of the people most responsible for the legal end of that institution in Britain. Newton's faith and willingness was, he believed, what made him truly free for the first time in his life. His happiness didn't come from blocking out the truths of life. On the contrary, his happiness came only when he was able to finally and willingly see the truth. Our affirmation, I will read it through once and then we will say it together. I am willing and open to saying yes to the good in my life.
I am willing and open to saying yes to the good in my life. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you, Jean.
Thank you, Jean. Good morning. I'm Joseph Salek, and this morning it's my pleasure to be introducing the quartet, which is Rev Ann Rea, Jackie Hyra, and Patty Mary, and myself. I so much appreciate the generosity and the musicality that these musicians bring to our service. And please join me in welcoming the quartet. And this is a song of mine called The Gifts of Spirit. Spirit is sheltering me. The truth of Spirit holds me. The power of Spirit is guiding me home, guiding me home. The wisdom of Spirit is teaching me. The light of Spirit shines. The power of Spirit is guiding me home, guiding me home. The grace of Spirit is sheltering us. The power of Spirit lifts us. The truth of Spirit is guiding us home, guiding us home. The wisdom of Spirit is teaching us. The light of Spirit shines. The truth of Spirit is guiding us home, guiding us home, home, guiding us home. Guiding us home.
Brent, I can't see you.
Oh. Oh. Oh, you're talking to them.
One way or the other. One way or the other. I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you. Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ah, happy anniversary day. I'm so excited to welcome all of you on Zoom, all of you on Facebook, all of you who will see this recording later, and just tell you what a grand and glorious 6 years this has been for me. And thank you. And what a grand and glorious 13 years it has been for the Everyday Center for Spiritual Living.
Wow.
And when I was writing out the announcement that I wanted to make today about our anniversary, our shared anniversary, it occurred to me that what I'm really celebrating is the beginning. So it's the beginning of my 7th year, and it's the beginning of our 14th year. And here at Everyday, since we're new, every day. Oh, that sounds so good. It's music to my ears. That includes the center, right?
Yes.
And so I know that all of us bring that energy and that intention to being together, to supporting each other in our hearts and minds during the week, and doing what we can to offer that same support to our community around us and the world. I'm Rev Ann Rea, in case you'd all forgotten. And I am thrilled. I mean, there really just aren't enough words for me to tell you what it feels like to be the senior minister of this fabulous community. We are the Everyday Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and we're fabulous.
Yes. You're amazing.
Thank you. You are too.
Oh yeah, and you are.
Oh
too.
yeah.
And you are too.
And you are, 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 and you especially are.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just full of it today.
Every day.
Every day. Or nation and internationally. So we're continuing with the question, are you willing? Right? We've been asking that all month. Just, are you willing in general? Are you willing to conceive? Are you willing to imagine? Are you willing to create what you imagine? Are you willing to embody what you imagine? And today's question, because I know inquiring minds want to know, is, are you willing to believe?
Yes.
And the story that Jean Watson shared in her practitioner offering this morning was so poignant to me, because it's not a story that I'm particularly familiar with, even though I think I've done a lot of reading about that period and about all of the things that went on then. But it was quite moving to to hear the story of how this, at that time, still fairly young man, was so moved by his experience that it occurred to him that he might want to change his mind. And that's huge, because it occurred to me in hearing that story that we so often put the cart before the horse. That we think of the changes that we are calling forward into our lives, the improvements, the resolutions, the solutions, whatever it is, and we think about the hows that might happen, right?
Yes.
And usually we think about all the things that are going to be required to make those things happen. But we don't think about changing our minds. And until we change our minds, I'm not saying nothing can happen. I'm not saying nothing can change. I'm not saying nothing can improve. What I am saying is it may not stick.
Right.
Because in order for a change to take hold, so to speak, we need to be ready for it. We need to prepare for it. Right, we need to prepare. So what does that look like? Well, that looks like what we talked about last week. That talks about preparing our minds, preparing our bodies, preparing life around us for something new, something improved, something completely different. And if we haven't done that, then it's sort of like not having any place to put it.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't have its own little cubby where it can go. So we're thinking the same. Let's just pretend together, because I know this isn't true for any of us, but let's just pretend together that we're thinking the same thoughts. The same old thoughts. And we're doing all this work to invite all this change, all this improvement, all this resolution, all this generosity, all this provision, all this whatever, all this health and wholeness and vibrant, radiant, energetic, everything into our lives, but we're still thinking the same thoughts about, God, I just don't know. I just don't know how it can happen. I don't know, because, this person has to talk to that person and they don't even like each other. And this other person has to, read my resume and actually pay attention, and this other person has to want to do this for me and not charge me a fortune, and that's not going to happen. That's just a sample. It's not. yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but. Reverend Ann's going to stand up there and tell me all the ways it can happen, and I know that for me it's going to be hard. Well, good for you. Not that I want it to be hard for you. What I want is for there to be an opening. It doesn't have to look like the Grand Canyon. It can look like a window, just opening. It can look like a door that's just slightly ajar, and you've got your foot in it, so it won't close again. Because the last time you had a good thought, you forgot that you'd already taken your foot out of the open door. Changing our thoughts really does change our life.
Yes, that's right.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
Right.
So if we change our thoughts, let's say it goes the other way. We change our thoughts, and somebody that we didn't even think about one way or the other before, we're angry with all of a sudden. How dare they? How dare they be belittling? Or how dare they insult me? Or how dare they not know who I am? So that's one way it can go. And another way it can go, same scenario, is, I wonder what's going on with them today. I bet they haven't had the morning I've had. So maybe just by being calm and listening and open, I can improve their day. Same mind,
Right.
different reaction.
Yes.
Right. Because one is a response, and the other is a reaction to something that someone has said or something that has happened, right?
Right. Yeah.
And either way, we believe it.
Yes.
This is the thing that I really want you to walk away with today, is that we believe our mind. And I'm not saying we should never believe our mind. I'm just saying that it only knows what it knows.
Right. That's right.
And sometimes it only knows in certain circumstances, it only knows what other people knew.
Yeah.
And they told us was the way things were. And so, of course, it's still how things are. Or we could decide that, change is really a good thing. It's really a good thing. Feeling fresh and new and renewed every day is a good thing.
Yes.
And knowing we can change our mind is a good thing. And unless we're really susceptible, and again, I know this isn't true for anybody here, but unless we're really susceptible, nobody else can change it for us.
Right.
That's right.
And the fact is that even if we want to blame somebody else for our change of mind, where we now believe X, Y, or Z, we had to agree.
Right.
Yes.
And that is a choice.
That's right.
So there really is something to this belief business. Look at all the things we believe in. We believe that when we put our key in the lock of our front door, that we're going to be able to open the door and walk in. Right?
Yes.
We don't stop and think about it. We believe the same thing with the ignition of our car. We believe the same thing about certain friends. That they will always listen. And we believe other things about certain friends. They'll never listen. Look at all the things we believe. And belief, the thing about belief is that it never tends to be sometimes. I believe that happens sometimes. It tends to be more black and white. It tends to be more this always and that always. Whether it's a positive always or not. So this is how Spirit works. There's one life. There's one power. There's one presence. It is all life. It is everything that we have ever seen, ever imagined, that has ever been, everything that will ever be. It already is. How's that for a big one? And it doesn't interfere.
Right.
I'm sorry. I know that many of us were taught otherwise, but if you look at the evidence, it doesn't interfere.
Right. That's right.
Because if it interfered, then we would no longer have free choice. And that isn't the way this whole setup was set up. God bless you on the truth. That is really the truth. That is, as much as we wish that just occasionally, particularly with these certain people or these certain situations, that Spirit, God, the universe would interfere to make it more the way we think it should be. Nope. That's not the way it happens. So, the proof of the pudding is in the tasting. Our thoughts, good, bad, or indifferent, are supported.
Yes.
Sorry. I know that we wish that this avalanche of guidance would show up and knock us over or something. If we were on the verge of making a decision that wasn't supportive of our life. But you know what really happens? I know you want to know. What really happens is the avalanche of guidance is there all the time.
Yes.
All the time. Just chatting away. Just not telling us what to do, but showing us the way for our path, for the next step and the next step for our path, so that the happy life that we desire, the joyful life, the healthy life, the strong life, the spirited life that we desire will always be ours to have. But we have to do our part. We have to listen. We have to follow the directions. Now I know, especially those of you who are technologically sensitive, that following the directions can seem a little frustrating. But that's never the case with guidance.
Right. That's right.
That's never the case. And we really don't help the situation by telling God, guidance, the universe, the one life, what needs to happen. It's not beneficial. Our ideas, no matter how grand and glorious they are, our ideas of the path from here to there are not even a drop in the bucket compared to what's available.
Right.
So what do we do? What do we do when we're faced with something that really feels challenging and difficult? It could be a health situation, it could be a family situation, it could be a work situation, it could be a lot of things. What do we do?
Raise our vibration.
Raise our vibration. And how do we do that, Rita?
Well, there's lots of different ways. Laughter is the fastest way to raise.
So we raise our vibration by laughing. And I'm sorry, again, but if that sounds ridiculous, let's just try it. Oh, that was good. That was good.
Yeah. You have to breathe to laugh.
You do. And you have to smile and everything. What else do we do?
Something new.
Something new. A friend of mine taught me this week. And yes, I'm still learning. I admit being a student for life.
Yes.
A friend taught me this week to look around me for what might be helpful that I hadn't laid eyes on before, or I hadn't seen in that particular way, to just look around me for what might be helpful. When I went on my trip last week, I packed so perfectly, which comes as a surprise to no one. Except I forgot a comb. And so it was a little complicated because the lovely woman that I was staying with, because I had arranged for an Airbnb in someone's home, lovely, lovely, lovely woman, and home. But she didn't want the towels used on anything that had color. And I know you all think this is natural. But it might have come off on her towels. So what she offered instead was paper towels, which I made work. because I believe in making things work. And my fingers had to do for a comb.
Yeah, that works.
And I hadn't thought of them that way quite before. But as my friend told me, look around for what you can use. And there at the end of both hands were my fingers. So it does require some creativity on our part and God knows a lot of willingness.
Yeah.
A lot of willingness. But the most important willingness is the willingness to see things with fresh eyes.
Right.
Because we can't change our mind until we do.
That's right.
Even though the thing that we're looking at or living with or struggling with, whatever the case may have been going on for a long time and may feel even impossible to overcome, to find the solution for that actually leaves our lives feeling whole. Nothing is impossible if we believe it. Everything is possible if we believe it. And we don't need to know what the everything includes.
That's right.
And I know that control is a big thing to let go of. But it serves us to do that. It serves us to know what we know and then say, okay, what else is there? What else might there be? Who else might there be? Because there is no limit. When we're available, it's available. And that belief right there, just that one willingness to believe in what's possible beyond what we know, beyond what we have believed until now, beyond what the evidence shows, beyond what anybody else is telling us, that one step right there, that is like the Grand Canyon. That is like opening ourselves completely to all that can be. Everybody go like this. Take a nice deep breath. Oh, that feels almost as good as the laughter, right? Oh.
Oh, you should laugh and do this.
Oh my gosh. On a day of celebration such as this, there should be lots of laughter. What I promise you is that changing your mind will change your life. Changing your mind in the ways that you mean will change your life. Changing your mind in a way that includes more good and more God, or universe, or spirit, whatever is most comfortable for you, will change your life for the better. Guaranteed, period. I love a particular quote from Malachi that is in the Old Testament, where Jehovah says, "Prove me now. Prove me now herewith." In other words, test me. The universe is saying, come on, bring it. Bring me an unsolvable problem. Bring me something that can't be healed. Bring me whatever. Bring it.
Right.
And I'll handle it. And if I need help from you, I'll let you know. And so it is.
Marcus on the floor.
Everybody smile. I see somebody not smiling.
Today I am in my heart. Today my life is starting. Today I see a new beginning of all I can be. In my heart and in my life, I am reaching new heights of my own soul. Today I am in my heart. Today my life is starting. Today I see a new beginning of all I can be. In my heart and in my life, I am reaching new heights
So everyone, now is the time of our conscious giving. So if you'd like to bring your energy, I've got a quote here from Ernest Holmes I'd like to share with you. And Ernest Holmes says, "Life is ever giving of itself. We must receive, utilize, and extend the gift. Success and prosperity are spiritual attributes belonging to all." And so in that energy of extending our good and sharing our good and recognizing the abundance of our lives, would you join me please in saying our sharing affirmation? The love of Spirit blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive abundantly. And so it is. Thank you. And so while the ushers are moving about the room, we've got a couple of announcements. So give yourself the gifts of prayer today. Today our practitioners on duty following service are Jean Watson on Zoom. And in the room, we've got Patty Berry, we've got Bren Travis, and myself, if you're so interested in giving yourself a little faith lift. Just see one of us after service. And as you know, today we are celebrating as Rev Ann begins her 7th year as our senior minister. And the Everyday Center begins our 14th year as a community. And so Trace Leche's cake for all. I hope you brought containers, and some other snacks that have been left from the celebration here at the synagogue yesterday. Laurel's brought some beautiful fruit, so we have an abundance of good waiting for each one of us in the lobby. And remember, this coming Thursday is the autumn equinox meditation with me. I'll be facilitating that at 6 p.m. on Thursday.
Is that here?
It actually is not here. It will be online, and if we've got place for 4 cars at our house, weather permitting. If you'd like to join us at the house, please check in with Rev Ann and myself, and we'll give you information about getting up there. We're riding together perhaps, because we've just got limited parking by where we are. So, but everyone is welcome online, of course, on Zoom and on Facebook Live. We've got this week on Wednesday, we have the Science of Mind magazine study group that Jackie Hyra is facilitating, and that is here. So join Jackie this week, this Wednesday at noon. Okie doke. And check the back table for other volunteer activities and opportunities. All are welcome to participate in whatever way you can. So that's it for me. And so join us, please, as you direct your energy to the baskets here in front of us. Just sending good vibrations, laughter, sweetness to all that has been collected, all that has been offered. And as we receive it, we know that